Namaskar everyone. We'll start with a small prayer. Narayanam Paripurn Gunanavaya Vishwodaya Sthiti Layoniyati Pradaya Jnana Pradaya Vibhuda Sukh Dukh Sat
Karanam Namo Namaste.
So we are studying the Bhagavad Gita, and the Bhagavad Gita contains the quintessence of all of our spiritual knowledge, and only God has the ability to condense this vast spiritual knowledge into just 701 shlokas. This knowledge helps us become a better person and be successful in life and make our life meaningful. We say that knowledge gives us power. And even in Bhagavad Gita, it is said, Nahi jnanin sadrisham pavitram ihya vidyate. Nothing is more pious than knowledge. When Bhagavad Gita talks about knowledge, it is the knowledge of entities, the souls, the God, and the physical matter and their relationship with each other. So that is what we are discussing currently. And we are very fortunate that Sri Keshav Rao ji is teaching us. In Bhagavad Gita, it is said, Tat vidhi pranipaten pariprashnena sevaya updekshanti te jnanina tattvadarshinaha. So I would do my namaskar to Sri Keshav Rao ji and would request him to continue the session from where we left it off last time.
Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Abhramam Bangaraitam Ajadam Vimalam Sada Anandatithamatlam Badetapatrayabham Pujya Raghavendraya Satidharmarataya Badatam Kalparukshaya Namatam Kamadhenave Apadamoli Paryantam Gurunamaktinatmare Tyana Vignaha Prashyanti Siddhin Samanorathaha. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. As you all know, Bhagavad Gita, it has 701 verses. It's also called Shaptasati. And we are not actually going sloka by sloka, doing pratipadartha and artha, because that will take a lot of time. And I mean, it may be a very powerful and interesting way, but it is going to take a lot of time. And we are so hard pressed for time. We want to get reasonably good essence of Bhagavad Gita, but at the same time, not spend that much time, get a good gist of it, but at the same time, not just rush through it, with an intention to finish it off, but touch upon all the essential points that are needed. As you all know, in completed first adhyaya, where the stage is set and the behavior of Duryodhana on the Kaurava side and the behavior of Arjuna and Pandava side from two different perspectives. Duryodhana showed despondency for a different reason. Arjuna showed also a kind of vishada, despondency, but because of over attachment. For Duryodhana, attachment was not the cause, but for Arjuna, attachment was the cause. So he was over attached to Bhishma and Drona, so that made him bring certain arguments which look on the surface, oh, is it not listing the disasters of war? We all know there are disasters in war. So that kind of arguments when he put forth, Krishna chastises Arjuna. Hey, Arjuna is giving correct information. Why did Krishna chastise Arjuna? Because he says, Na etat tvai upapadyate. You are a kshatriya. You have to perform your duty. And what you are saying, all of them go against your duty. Your giving up duty is not right, because the society is built on a big structure, a perfect structure, which is called dharma. Dharma means dharana dharma. That which supports is dharma, is dharana. It supports the whole society. It supports our existence. It's supposed to exist. Dharma, we have sangha dharma, vyaktigata dharma, samuhika dharma. All kinds of dharmas are coming and they all interact with each other. And in those circumstances, how one should act, it's always a big question mark. And Krishna is doing analysis of that and giving a upadesha, eternal valid upadesha. It is valid for all times, as we can see that. And the first instructional word that we saw Krishna telling Arjuna is, your arguments are all meaningless arguments. He says, Prajnavadans cha bhasasi, you're talking like a Prajnavada, but it's not. And then he says, the reason for your sadness, depression, is that you are going to lose Bhishma and Drona. Let us analyze it at three different levels. One is, okay, are you worried about their souls? Atmanasha is not going to happen. And that Krishna said, we are sarve vayamata param. We are going to exist, all of us, we are going to be there eternally present as Jivatmas. And of course, he is Paramatma, and all the rest are Jivatmas. And all of Jivatmas and Paramatmas are eternal, even though Jivatmas are dependent eternally. Paramatma is Swatantra, but all of them are eternal. So you, Arjuna, you cannot feel sorry for Atmanasha. Then the second, oh, I'm not worried, I'm not feeling sorry for Atmanasha, but I'm worried about Dehanasha, the body of Bhishma, Drona, who fondled me so much, who showered affection on me. Their bodies are going to go away. So I'm worried about the bodies also. Then Krishna says, wait a minute, bodies are going to go away anyway. You cannot, okay, if not today, tomorrow their body is going to die. And you say, I'm going to cry for the sake of the body, means you are giving up dharma for the sake of protecting their bodies. That's not right. Of course, when you have to choose between your dharma and their shariras, the nashvara sharira, destructible bodies, your dharma is meant for eternal continuation of dharma. It's for dharma stapana. It's always meant for a permanent structure that is meant for the society, for you, for everybody. It's so you cannot say body can be the reason. So that he rules out. And there he says Kaumaram Yavanam Jara, all that explanation we saw that. And then no. Another reason is, okay, bodies are going to be destroyed, but I am so attached to them. Then that's the problem. Mata Spashastra Kante, the next verse says, your issue is Abhimana. So do Abhimana Tyaga. Give up Abhimana, attachment, then you are fine. How can I give up my attachment? I am attached to so many people, means the attachment has to be judged against the validity of the attachment. It's not that attachment is not all possible, means is not the case. It is possible. Attachments are there. We are attached to our parents, brothers, sisters, our duties. Everything is important in this society. How can we just give up attachments, means? Yes, it's difficult to give up attachments, but if it comes to choosing between your dharma and the attachments, you better give up attachments and stand firm on your dharma. That is important. So that's what is teaching. And then a funny thought can come to somebody. Hey, why should I perform an action? You're saying actions are binding, right? You say if they should not be binding, then you perform the actions, but don't have attachment for the actions, don't have attachment for the people. That is easier, and that's what you have to do. He says, that's difficult. I would rather give up action itself instead of doing an action and performing, the action and then giving up attachments. I as well don't do any action. That way, my attachments are not affected. For example, in this example, I won't fight the war. Then Bhishma and Drona will not die. Then we are all going to be happily together. Maybe whatever way, we'll be together. So I won't fight the war. So give up action itself, so that it is easier rather than giving up attachments. If that objection is raised, the next sloka, we covered Matras Prashas Kamteya 14th verse, and the next verse will say why one should actually engage in action and not bypass. Okay, I will bypass action so that I will bypass attachment. No, that's not possible. That's done by the next verse. Yam hi na vyathayantyete purusham purushashrabha samadukha sukham dhiram somrutattvaya kalpate. What is the ultimate goal for everybody? Ultimate goal is to have permanent happiness. Your attachment, why you are attached to Bhishma Drona? Because that makes you happy. But that happiness is temporary. Bhishma Drona are going to die someday. So that will go away. Nitya Sukha has to come, that is moksha only. Amrutatva, moksha is to be achieved. For achieving the moksha, what is to be done? You have to perform action. So it says actually, yam hina vyatintete purusham purushashabha. The addressing itself, purushashabha, a purusha sreshtha, purusha shabda, puri sete. We are also purushas. Paramatma is also purusha. Both are using same word, like just like we have somebody may have the same name as the president, but he doesn't become a president. An ordinary person has the same name as a president or prime minister. He won't become. No, name is same, but they're different. Same way, the Purusha Shabda, Parama Purusha Narayana, he is also a Purusha, and all of us also, we are all Purushas, but different meaning. He is Purusha, Purisir, as a Niyamaka. Every body can exist only if Paramatma wills for it. So he is there as a Niyamaka, and that way he is Parama Purusha, Yoga Purusha, Purusha Sukta Pratipadya, Veda Pratipadya Purusha. He is Parama Purusha. And all of us are also Purushas. Everybody is a Purusha in our own way. He is addressing as Purusha Shabha, hey Purusha Sreshta. That means among the body bearing things, all the entities, body bearing people, basically people. Among all the body bearing people, you are one of the cream of the cream of the persons. Cream means what? You should think properly, logically. So it's hinting you better think properly. The Purusha Shabha, Purusha Sreshta addressing itself says you better think properly. That means you have the prajna that you are a shariradhari. And what you have to develop is the quality of understanding both sukha and dukkha, sorrow and happiness in this earthly way, materialistic sorrows and happinesses. They are temporary, they come and go. So you should develop a equanimity where you don't get boosted up by sukha and feel highly depressed for dukkha. That kind of mentality is dangerous. So that's a moksha virodhi. So moksha virodhi for liberation, both sukha dukkha of the prakruta, the samsarika sukha dukkha, both even not only dukkha is an abstraction, even sukha is also an abstraction. Samsara sukha and samsara dukkha both are against moksha. So yamhina vyathayanti yete purusham purushashava samadukha sukham dhiram so amrutatvaya kalpate. Basically saying amrutatvaya means for moksha. He is capable of getting a moksha if he can treat sukha and dukkha similar. So basically what he's saying is you cannot go with the inaction approach. You have to go with that action approach, and you should develop the capability in treating the samsarika sukha dukkhas with a balanced equanimity, and that only can lead you to moksha, and that is your ultimate goal. That is what as Vivek was saying, nahi jnanena sadusham pavitram iha vidyate. That jnana is what is you have to acquire. So that it tells the importance of jnana, how it should go, the direction of it is mentioned in the 15th verse. And also Arjuna listed a lot of things, right? Okay, because of the war, this happens, that happens, people will go the bad ways because there's an imbalance between men and women, and everybody, all the men are dead, means all the women will take the bad ways and everything. All those arguments he brought, right? And also, by performing this terrible, terrible bad war, I will go to Naraka also. I'm going to go to Naraka because I'm killing so many good people. I will go to Naraka. This argument also Arjuna brought. And next sloka, 16th sloka, it answers two ways. Our Acharya was so wonderful. He gave in Bhashya one approach, Tatparya. His Tatparya approach, he says, A, from good action, good result. Bad action, bad result. This is Dharma Sthapana Karya, this war. This Dharma war, by fighting this, you think that all bad is going to happen? No way. He said good war means good only will come out of it. A dharma yuddha will lead to dharma, which will lead to dharma sthapana, which will lead to the stability of the society. So you will get punya also for that. So you will not get any papa. You will not incur any sin. You will incur only punya. So that is what is conveyed on Tatparya level Acharya says. And another thing he says, remember in the 13th sloka, Paramatma said that we are all going to be there at all times, nityatva. So that thing that he mentioned in the 13th sloka is talking about the nityatva of the actually 12th sloka. Natveva aham jatanasam natvam neme janadipaha, when he said that nachaiva na bhavishyamaha sarve vayamata param. Nityatva, all of us are going to be eternal. You, me, all these kings, everybody is going to be eternal. And people say, hey, you are saying all the souls are nitya. But we don't know, we cannot verify that, right? Because we leave this body, we forget everything, we don't know, remember our previous janma, we have this current janma. In the next janma, when we go, we'll not remember this current janma. So every janma, we remember only that janma. So we don't know, the souls are eternal. Does such an eternal thing exist, first of all? Is it possible? Are there something called eternal, ever existing thing? Is it possible? If this question comes, hey, Krishna, I am eternal, means, okay, Krishna, you are saying you're eternal, okay, Veda says that, but how do I know? Is there something, you gave yourself as an example, which is good, wonderful, okay, Paramatma is eternal, so like that, there are eternal entities, Jivas are also eternal. But for a non-believer, is there something else that is eternal? And then that is answered by another meaning of that, nasato vidyate bhavo. Nasato vidyate abhavo, na abhava vidyate satah. The sat asat, basically mula prakriti. Not only Paramatma is there and he is eternal, but there is primordial matter. Matter can neither be created nor destroyed. Talk about science also and all that. The composite or combined matter and energy as a whole is eternal. So matter can be converted to energy, energy to matter, but as a combination of those two together is eternal. So even science says that. So there are some which is nothing but primordial matter, which is directing to, and the time, kala, is there, it is eternal. And in fact, next slokas are going to talk about some more other eternal things also. And so on 16th sloka, it is also saying that not only Jivas and Paramatma are eternal, but there are other eternal entities also. Asataha abhavaha na vidyate, sataha abhavaha na vidyate. Asataha is basically, the Prakriti has abhivyakta form, that is manifested Prakriti or unmanifest form. In both ways, there is eternal Prakriti is there at all times. So that there are other eternal entities that are present. So basically, it sets stage for that 16th sloka, that there are so many other eternal entities. That is what it talks about, nasato vidyate bhavo. And not only that, then it goes to next stage. Hey, you are saying this is eternal, Jiva is eternal and all that. But what if we hear the stories, right? Like great Rishi gets angry, gives a curse. Oh, something may happen to you. You become a Rakshasa, or you become this, you become that. Somebody can give a curse like that. If somebody gives a big curse, my jiva is eternal. Suppose I make a big mistake and a great rishi gets angry or something and says, hey, your jiva is going to be destroyed. You are so bad guy, you did harm to me, your jiva will be destroyed. If he gives that curse, will my jiva get destroyed? Special reasons, not ordinary reasons, okay, jiva, nothing will happen. By some special reasons, can the jiva be destroyed? If this question comes, that is also answered. All that kind of doubts and objections are answered in the 17th sloka. It says, Avinashita tadvidhi yena sarvamidam tatam vinasham avyasyasya nakaschit kartamarhati. Nobody can do a vinasha of an eternal thing. Like, kala, okay, somebody gives a curse or somebody says, I use all my tapas power, let the time stop. Somebody says that it's not possible. The time keeps going at all times. You can stop the events, like we hear the stories when sunrise is stopped or something like that stories, but those are stoppers of events, not actually stoppers of time itself. The time is never stopped. The time goes on, it's eternal. So there are so many entities that are eternal. Dravyam karma cha kalasya swabhavo jiva eva cha. There other eternal entities are mentioned. So there are so many eternal, and no special causes, special things can also destroy. They are indestructible, means in all respects there are nothing, nobody can ever, any superpower. And Paramatma himself, Paramatma is Sarvashakta. If he destroys, but he is the protector. He is the protector. He is the preserver. He makes sure. He is the one who makes sure that eternal things will remain eternal. He is the protecting the eternality. So no worries. Paramatma is protecting the eternality. So he will make sure the eternal things will remain eternal. He is the protector. So that's why nothing will happen to eternal things. Realize that. So that is also assurance is given by him, by Sri Krishna. And here I'll stop so that any questions are there, you can feel free to ask. Hare Srinivasa.
Dhanyavad Sri Keshara. If anyone has any question.
I think probably after a few days, you all will have some opportunity to ask questions. Maybe like now actually you're receiving information, but when you collect all this information inside you, probably you may come up with some questions. Well, you said that they're here, why not this or whatever? So probably you'll start thinking in those lines. So feel free to ask if you still have any questions. Don't hesitate.
Yeah, I think it is important to ask questions, because even Bhagavad Gita, it says tat vidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. Means by repeatedly asking the questions, doing the namaskara to the learned people, then you receive the right instructions. Because when we hear, the knowledge is very difficult to impart. And only with the contemplation and discussion, ongoing discussion with just like the firewood, you have to rub it to create the fire. That's how, with the repeated inquiry and question from a learned person, you can really obtain the knowledge. So I think you should think about, maybe go back and think about, and maybe we should do someday some sessions if you note down some questions, and we should spend a little bit time on that. So the other thing I would say is maybe this, I shared a link earlier about the classes for chanting the Bhagavad Gita. That course is for 100 days, and it's being conducted by Swamiji, who's doing this yajna to encourage a lot of people to learn Bhagavad Gita. And in my opinion, I think Bhagavad Gita is the most important text that one would ever come across in their life. There is no other book as great as Bhagavad Gita, and we must learn and contemplate on it. We should chant, memorize, and internalize it to because this knowledge not just will help us be successful in life, but it will also help us spiritually and make us better people, to help us better handle the situations in our lives. Okay, I see Shrikar's hand is up.
Speaker, yeah. Speaker.
Namaskara. I had a question. So, for example, when we get something new, or especially for children, if they get like a toy, or we're hungry and we see something we want to eat, we get like really attached to it, and like, no, I only want that thing. I don't want anything else. I only want that. So, how do we prevent ourselves from, for example, if it's a child, it's fine because they're still a child. But as you grow older, how do you prevent yourself from getting overly attached to something?
Yeah, so that's a good question. So how we can avoid over attachment? So we so many times we show over attachment as we grow more and more mature. Are there any ways to avoid this over attachment? I think that's what your question is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the reason for over attachment is our judgment. What we do is we give like more priority for something more importance than it is due. Basically, I'll give you a simple example. Suppose we have a beautiful watch or a beautiful sunglasses or some small item, or maybe beautiful pen, a wonderful pen or something, and we are so attached to that. Sometimes we say, oh my God, I cannot live without it. I cannot live without this watch or this goggle. So you are so attached, over attached. So something at some point, suppose by whatever providence, you lose that product. You were thinking that that is more valuable than your life. So if the person really feeds himself the information that this is more important than life, this is more important. Suppose he keeps on saying that to himself, there is a big danger, because he says when he loses it, oh, I lost something that's more important than my life. Then this life is not worth living for me. The person can make any, like, commit suicide, or make an effort for that or something. That means what is happening? The person is giving more importance to an item than it is due. So, okay, it's a beautiful sunglass or beautiful watch or whatever it is. It's very important, nice. But hey, it is something that I am using. It's just a tool. I should not give more importance to it than it is due. It is not more important than my life. It is not more important than my brother, my sister, or my people. It is not more important than my friend. It is not even more important than my another beautiful Bhagavad Gita book. That's more important than this penna, this whatever something. So that means judgment power to think and decide that everything has to be given only that much importance that is due to it, that is to be given. Giving more importance will put you in a wrong situation, make you take a wrong decision. So that should not happen. So the way you should train yourself is, or any person should train himself is, I will give only certain amount of importance for anything in life, anything. So exactly in Arjuna and Bhagavad Gita also, of course, Bhishma, Drona, they are very important people. They are very nice people, very affectionate. But he cannot give them more importance than dharma itself. Dharma becomes more important than. When suppose you hold to a dharma, giving more importance does not arise, because dharma is the right thing that supports. It does not take you down the road. It will not put you in the wrong position. It will not take you in, because dharma will also tell you what to do, how to do. Judgment power is included in dharma. What is right, what is not right is included in dharma. That is why the dharma jnana is what is helpful in overcoming that over attachment. To overcome the over attachment, the powerful tool is dharma itself, the knowledge of the dharma. Basically, the for anything, the most powerful tool is knowledge itself, jnana. You think of it as what is the right thing for this. Over, like for example, as you said, a sweet. Oh, this is my sweet is important, but I will, this sweet after I eat, is going to go out of my body anyway. I should give importance to limited extent. Not that we like sweets, we eat sweets, everything. It does not mean that you should give up any desire for sweets, but you should not give over importance. So that knowledge that will help you in overcoming this over attachment is dharma jnana itself. The jnana of the dharma, the knowledge about the dharma is what is helpful in achieving that.
Okay. ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಸಣ್ಣ question ಇತ್ತು.
Yeah.
Oh, I had another small question, which
Sure,
was I've heard a lot of people say when you do something bad, if you don't know if it's right or wrong, then it's okay. For example, if you eat something but you didn't know that it had onion, for example, in it, then that one time they will forgive you. But if you know something and then you do something wrong, then it's on your fault. So how far does that go? And you shouldn't misuse it, but then how far would that go necessarily? And is that right? That logical reasoning?
Yeah, that logic is right, but it should never be misused. Yes, without knowing something happens, yes, it is excusable, but it is excusable provided the person feels really sorry and promise himself that he will not make that again. That
Hmm.
that thing, oh, okay, I'll feel sorry, then I'll go back and eat onion again. I didn't know. Oh, my friend gave it. I didn't know that's onion. I'll eat. Next day, oh, next day, I thought maybe this time he didn't give onion. That's No, suppose it happens next time you ask your friend, oh, does it have onion? First time you didn't ask yet, and they said, oh, onion is there. Second time you ask every time, oh, does it have onion? So that means your intention what matters. Always the intention. Your intention, is it to cheat somebody or it is not to cheat anybody? As long as your intentions are good, yes, it is right. If you do something without the knowledge, then yes, the paschatapa will take you out of it, not bind you for that. But if you knowingly do that, yes, then there's no scope for paschatapa. The person knowingly did it, that means he doesn't care. That is bad.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು ಹರೀಶ್
No, Hare Srinivas.
I think Bhavani has a question. Do we have time?
Yeah. Yeah.
Namaskar. Can I ask a question, sir?
Sure.
Yeah, this is about the eternal soul. For example, the soul is forever, but the body that comes into this world, this is Kali Yuga. Actually, you don't know what papam you did in Purva Janma or what punyam you did in Purva Janma. But if you accrue something, how we are going to refine ourselves? We don't know what we did in Purva Janma to take birth in this mortal world, this Janma. But how we should go on refining, because there are many. If you can read Chanakya Niti, you can read Mahabharata, you can read Ramayana. Everything is pertaining to particular yuga. So how should we refine and follow the principles of Bhagavad Gita sincerely? Where should we start to begin with?
Yeah. See, the thing is, I think it has two sides of it. How do I know what is my previous janma thing, action, and all that? And how about learning this Bhavadina, each one like each you guys different and all. But the dharma is same. That is like, doesn't matter what you got, what it is, the dharma is always the same. Dharma will not, like for example, you have to help others, you have to help good people. That's always the dharma. So dharma will never change. And how to know what my karma is, previous janma and all that means the simple brief answer, of course, I'll details will cover next time. But the brief answer is your prayatna will indicate what your karma balance, what your swabhava, that is indicated by if your effort, you try to do something good, that means you have a good account, good balance, good karma. That's why you are making an effort. So the effort will show you. If you are doing a good effort, means you are in the good direction. That will tell you, oh, you are really a good soul. You did a good karma. That's why you are making an effort. So the prayatna will indicate what it is.
Hare Srinivasa, Dhanyavada.
Sure.
Thank you.
Okay, sure. Yeah, we'll continue in the next class. So we have another class now. Hare Srinivasa.
When will be the next class for us, Srivatsaji?
Next Monday.
Okay. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, right?
Just Monday and Wednesday.
Oh, thank you, sir. Namaste. Hare Srinivasa.
Hare
Srinivasa. Mantu Sukhinah. Sarve
Shantu Niramayah. Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu. Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hare Srinivasa.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ.
Hare Srinivasa. Dhanyavada.
ಹರೀಶ್ ಶ್ರೀನಿವಾಸ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು
Namaskara.
Hare Srinivasa.
ಹರೀಶ್ ಶ್ರೀನಿವಾಸ